Hey, what's going on everyone? Veg here for SerpentX Tech, and in a previous video we talked about the C2 Foghashing Immersion cooling system. Two-part system, container, and then the hoses that run to the dry cooler to cool your Bitcoin or Dogecoin or Caspa or whatever ASIC miner you want, thus reducing noise output and improving thermal efficiency. Well, the C2 that I had, as you could see here from the light charring, caught fire previously. You could watch my previous video, but this is exactly what it looks like on the inside. You can see something caught fire here on that control board, and the team at Foghashing was able to work with me and send me over another container that should use the same threading and brass fitting connections that I need to run to dry cooler. I did remove most of the oil already in the system, and now I just got to move everything over, and you can see some of the subtle differences between the two. Same front panel as it appears, right? Get a little LCD with a button right here, 3 screws up top to hold this front panel on, and then the lid, instead of being 2 pieces, is only 1. So 2 pieces here, 1 for the pump housing, and then 1 for the actual main tank assembly, where as in this one it's wide open. You can see straight down to it instead of being covered on one side. Basically the same. The fittings on the right hand side, you got your upper and then your lower, right? So this is basically recycling cooler immersion liquid into the system. It rises up the tank and then falls over like a waterfall into where the pump assembly is through these little grates here. And so the fittings are on the same side, lower section, you can see it. And then we have the same vents on the side. This is where the fire came out last time, as you can see here from the old one. Now the Foghashing team is still working with me to investigate how in the hell something like this could happen, but either way, I'm glad that they're working with me in order to get my Bitcoin ASICs back up and running, because my two S19K Pros are just chilling right now. So would like to get them up and running as soon as possible. I did, however, develop one crack in one of my buckets. So you can see here I got 3 BitCool 888 buckets, and that one over there developed a crack, so all the oil, even though it was mostly empty, was leaking out. So if I try to put any in it while I was moving everything, it would definitely just leak out onto the floor. So I still got to get a little bit more oil out, and then when I take off these hoses, some more will pour out. So I'm preparing myself before I move everything over. Now the C2 does come with a pump, which is basically 5 liters per minute. And they give you all the hoses and everything. Even the power brick just uses your normal C13, C14 power connector. It comes with only 2, but these are some other ones too. But only 2 dummy fan connectors depending on your ASIC. I got some extra O-rings just in case, because I am concerned that the previous ones dried up with the immersion liquid. Here's the hose for the pump, and then they sent me some stickers. Again, just working with me, but I don't think we need to use anything else but the O-rings for right now, because I am using the Epic blockchain control board. Matter of fact, the pump that's here is what came with the new container, and I already have the old one right here ready to go with the hoses and everything. And what I'm doing, it's not the best, and there's probably a better setup, but this is actually a coffee filter, which normal coffee filters can filter about 15 to 20 microns. Your normal oil filter for your car can do anywhere from 30 to 100 microns depending. So the coffee filter is just getting all the small particulates that I might be sucking out of the old tank, and when I put it back into the buckets, I don't have to worry so much. And then when I put it back in, it's going to filter again with a new coffee filter, just helping me reduce the contaminants. The yellow coloration we talked about in a previous video, because that should be clear. You can see it right down there. It's a little bit yellow, like somebody peed in it. I talked about that in a previous video, but right now, just a matter of unplugging everything. I already got the Ethernet cables unplugged, and then I just need to go ahead and unplug the power connectors as well, being as very careful as possible, because when you have your units in immersion liquid, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, your cables become very stiff. You feel like I should be able to bend that very easily, but I can't. And that's because the rubber or the insulation around these wires become very stiff, very rigid, and if you bend it the wrong way, you could actually wind up breaking something. So just got to be careful going out this side hole here, which is a grommet, whereas on the new one, it looks like we got 2 metal plates here that we just got to unscrew Phillips head and then run the wires as you can see through here. So the big one's for your main power, and then that one is for your Ethernet, one for each side, which is what I got to do. So let me turn you guys off and start moving stuff over. All right, making some progress. Got the machines moved over. Really doing a lot of cleanup. Still going to move the oil, but a lot of that dust and fire extinguisher powder, which is not the appropriate extinguisher for a chemical fire, right? So this immersion liquid, which can ignite under the right conditions, the fire extinguisher I have is not the right one for it, but it's perfect for an electrical fire, which is obviously what we had here. So it worked out, but I just had to get it, angled out because this was closed off. I had to angle it inside the vents, try to hit in there and kind of extinguish the fire, suck all the oxygen out of it. But at least, things are in progress. Things are cleaned up, had to wipe down the floor. And what I noticed too is compared to the old one, which has different type of caster wheels, as you can see there, the new one rolls a lot easier besides this tape being on that wheel. For some reason, even though they're like the same caster, this one rolls better, and it's got locking mechanism. I don't believe this one had a locking mechanism, or if it did, it would be in the backside. Yeah, don't really see a locking mechanism. So really cool that they added locks to the wheels so we could lock down the wheels and prevent this thing from rolling. And it rolls a lot easier. Maybe the bearings are a little bit better. So much easier to move. I'm moving that even with 2 ASICs in it. Of course, with liquid, it will make it a lot harder. But now the hard part, because all the rest of this immersion liquid is going to be at the very bottom. It's going to be really hard when I undo that brass fitting there. All the oil is going to want to spill out. So I got to figure out something, maybe elevate a little bit higher and then get this in the right position. So a little bit of trickery. Let's see if I can do it. Done. For the most part, just put the new tank to the right of the old tank. Did have to kind of angle this tank up a little bit, right? Because we would have oil spill out at the bottom. That's why I got the paper towels in there. We got as much as we could out of it and into the buckets or back into the container. New hoses, new O-rings on the brass or BSP fittings. So everything is ready to go. Hoses reconnected. But I did notice something with one of the PDUs that I will talk about in a different video. So everything is ready to go, but got to put a new PDU on, took the old one off, and then it's just a matter of pushing everything back into place, and then rerouting everything and running the wires. And again, on the side here, we have 2 plates that I need to remove in order to run the Ethernet cables and the power cords, which I'm going to go ahead and do right now. All right, we are back up and running on both S19K Pros. You can see them mining away. All the lights are on. And yeah, we're detecting. Pump is pumping. Pretty sure that valve is open, but that's what I use to relieve any air in the system as well as the one in the radiator outside. So I'm going to close that out. Fans are running strong. Everything's running good. Machines are still ramping up to speed. We're nowhere near where we want to be, so just got to give it some more time, as this is the perpetual tune from the Epic blockchain control board. Again, one is a 110 terahash model, the other one's a 120 terahash model, but I believe I have the perpetual tune, or I had it set for 155 terahash. Might need to turn that down, especially as we lead into summer. But yeah, we're back up and running at least. Oil's flowing. Everything's looking good. And just a matter of closing that little red valve right there and keeping an eye on the system. We don't have any leaks at any of the fittings or any of the connection points. Everything is looking good. I am probably going to take off this front panel. I can't take it too far because this LCD screen is wired into that control board, but I don't want this to happen. I kind of want to keep an eye on everything. But we're back up and running, hashing away, mining some Bitcoin, letting the machines auto tune itself. Gonna turn it down a bit. We're at 15 amps on one and 15.25 amps on the other, or 15.13 or 14 and 15.25 on the other. But it's just such a joy to have these babies back up and running. I'm so excited, so happy. But that's going to do it for today's video. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if you are immersion mining, what kind of system you're using. Hit me up in the comment section below. One thing I will say before I let you go is these plates here. When you have this, C19, C22, dual C13, this whole Foghashing is not big enough for 2 wires. I was able to make it work for both of them, but if you make that hole just a tad bit bigger, it's made for 1 single cable, and it's plenty of room for 1 single cable. But when you have these 2 cables, or this splitter, that comes out, it's barely big enough, and be careful not to cut into your wire. That will be my other tip, or something to look out for. But anyways, do me a favor on the way out. Hit the like button. Make sure to get subscribed, hit the notification bell to stay up to date, as well as check out additional links in the description to help support the channel and what we do here. And you just have yourself a wonderful day. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.